What's on, ladies and gentlemen? My name's Ross, I like games, and today it's time to have a chat about the Marvel Champions release schedule. Now, I'm going to be honest with you here. In the past, I have done a nice little release schedule for Marvel Champions going, here's what's coming out when. And I would love to be able to do that here, but here it's more of a best I can do situation, given that, unfortunately, things are not nice and easy. So, where are we? Well, right now, we are currently in Cycle 4, which is post-Mad Titan Shadow. The Mad Titan Shadow is out, and I believe that is out everywhere. I'm sorry if I'm missing anywhere. But that kind of ended the third cycle. We're now into the fourth, and this is hopefully where, well, fun stuff is happening. Now, by now, I think everyone's got Nebula. Now, I don't actually know if everybody has got Nebula, but I'm hoping everybody does. Nebula's the one which is all about the about the upgrades, the special techniques on those upgrades, whereby you can essentially put them into play and then in alter ego mode, you draw 2 cards when you play one, and then in hero mode, after your turn begins, you resolve all of them and then discard them all, so you build up for big turns, and it's an awful lot of fun. By now, most of you should also have Valkyrie. Now again, I'm not saying that you all do have Valkyrie, but I am saying that should be out pretty much everywhere. I hope so. This is the most recent one that's going to be released in the UK. So, Valkyrie in alter ego mode, you put the Deathglow upgrade aside out of play, but there's an action which detaches it and sets it aside. But in hero action, you can play it as if it were in your hand. And then, of course, might be interesting to see what it does. One would hope. And essentially, you attach it to an enemy, and then when they're defeated, you set it aside out of play. But if Valkyrie defeated that enemy, you ready her. So you can keep readying and all of that good stuff, and she comes out of aggression and life is good. That should be out there. Now, so should War Machine. But unfortunately, as it stands at the moment, War Machine is not out in the UK. Not only is War Machine not out in the UK, but as it stands at the moment, I've not been able to find any news as to when or if War Machine is coming out, but I can find nothing about it. Nothing about it at all. And bearing in mind, I got my ear to the ground. So, we're going to be getting War Machine at some point. I honestly don't know when, and that's a little bit sad. Now, War Machine, when you're James Rhodes, you get to shuffle War Machine cards from your discard pile into your deck, and after you change to this form, you discard each ammo counter from your identity, and then when you change into War Machine, you place 5 ammo counters on there, and then of course you're using those ammo counters as you go through, and that's the hook of War Machine. Fun deck. Probably. Not played it. It's not out in the UK. That's a little bit sad. Similarly, the Hood should be out. But as it stands at the moment, the Hood scenario pack just isn't there. And I'm not entirely sure why. Well, I do know why. It's a whole damn panic thing. But as it stands at the moment, the Hood does not exist in the UK. What Hood essentially does is just as a special that deals yourself extra encounter cards, which is a little bit sad. But then there's also a whole bunch of extra villains coming in scenario packs, and it seems really, really fun. Plus, we've got the return of the Wrecking Crew, who, of course, were their own expansion. But, now we've got this, which I am very excited about. And as it stands at the moment, like I've said, the Hood's just gone. I'm sure we'll get the Hood at some point. That would be nice. But as it stands at the moment, the Hood's just not there. So we should have Nebula, War Machine, Hood, and Valkyrie. They should all be out. We wait and see. The next one that is actually coming out, and this one is actually coming out, and we got an actual release date, and it's actually confirmed, is Vision, which is coming out on January the 14th. And like I've said, this is the next one. I know there are some people who are all the way up to date and waiting for Vision. There are some people like us in the UK who are waiting for Vision, as well as all the others, but this is the next proper release coming. And I am excited about Vision. When you're in dense mass form, you get +2 recovery. When you're in intangible mass form, you get +1 hand size. And when you change to Vision, your hero mode, you get an action that lets you change mass form by flipping over your mass form upgrade. And then, of course, we've got things like, intangible, can't attack or defend, but you reduce the amount of damage you take by 2. Whereas dense, you get +2 attack, +2 defense, and after you change to this mass form, you draw a card. So, very clear reasons why you would want to play each of the different forms there for Vision, and switching between them is clearly going to be a pretty important thing. It's going to be a big part of actually playing the deck. But as it stands at the moment, we unfortunately, we don't have much. We don't have it. It's going to be here, though. It's going to be here on January the 14th, and that's going to be lovely. And then the last one we've actually got confirmed, and I know there have been rumours about subsequent hero packs. I will try and get to them some point next week if I'm able. But in terms of actual confirmed stuff, in terms of confirmed sets which are actually coming, the only other one we've got is Sinister Motives. Now, Sinister Motives is your SpiderMan one. And look, I am a gigantic fan, phenomenal fan of Marvel Champions. I've been pretty clear about this the entire way. I absolutely adore it. But Spider-Man, for me, is the best part of the Marvel Universe. So when you're telling me that this game that I love is going into a block focused on Spider-Man, yes! I adore this. Now, we've got 2 new heroes. We've got Gwen Stacy, that lets you either shuffle Ticket to the Multiverse from your discard pile into your deck, or Reddit George Stacy, and then Ghost Spider. After you resolve an interrupt or responsibility on an event, you ready Ghost Spider. Limit once per phase. And I suppose I should mention Ticket to the Multiverse. When you use it, you remove it from the game, but you discard your hand, and then you shuffle your discard pile into your deck, and draw up to your hand size, and ready each Ghost Spider card you control. That's going to leave some good combos. And then George Stacy, you can exhaust to attach an event from your hand face down. And then any that are attached there you can play, which of course then leads to more combo opportunities. There's going to be some combos going on with Gwen Stacy. Although, to be honest with you, right, when I see that Silk is actually coming in as an ally here, that's all I really need to see. And we know by this stage that the team behind this game are just absolutely brilliant and are wonderful and really care about the game. But when you see stuff like Silk coming in, yeah, that's amazing. Now, Miles Morales is the other superhero, and when you're in Alter Ego, after you change to this form, shuffle a Spider-Man card from your discard pile into your deck, get what you want back, that's good. But then Spider-Man's got a Venom Blast special that deals 2 damage to an enemy and stuns them, and a Spider Camouflage special, which gives Spider-Man a tough status card and confuses an enemy. And then you've got a bunch of 1 and 2 cost cards that will let you activate those special abilities throughout the game, so essentially you are consistently using those abilities. And again, I cannot be the only one that thinks that sounds absolutely brilliant and amazing. Because it clearly is brilliant and amazing. So yeah, those 2 heroes make me pretty excited. In terms of scenarios, we know that we've got Sandman coming and deals indirect damage, which is kind of upsetting. But also, when you take damage, you resolve Surging Sands, and Surging Sands places a sand counter onto city streets, and you discard cards on the top of the encounter deck equal to the number of sand counters here, which is very sad, because of course when you run out of cards on the encounter deck you get an acceleration token, and that is going to build up very, very quickly indeed. But then again, it's Sandman, and really the hook of Sandman should be, hey, all the sand's coming and it's getting kind of annoying, So yeah, that totally tracks. We then get Venom, who looks kind of awesome. After you attack and damage Venom with a card you control, you place a face-down boost card on your identity. But when Venom activates against you, Leave Us Alone says that you move each face-down boost card from your identity to Venom, and then you take some phenomenal turns of damage, which people don't want. But then we got the whole bell tower mechanic going, whereby you add chime counters by dealing damage to Venom, and then you flip it over to the noisy mode, and then Venom takes extra damage until there are no chime counters, then you flip it back over, and it's just, yes, this sounds like a lot of fun, ladies and gentlemen. I think this is going to be an awful lot of fun on this one. You've then got Mysterio, who comes in, and basically it just kind of puts a bunch of encounter cards into your deck. So Mysterio, after you resolve a boost card during Mysterio's activation, you place that card in your discard pile if it has the illusion trait. Maze of Mirrors, when you would draw or discard an encounter card from your deck, deal it to yourself as a face-down encounter card, and then draw another one. So essentially, Mysterio is constantly putting encounter cards into your deck, and there are other ways to do so, but then when you draw into them, they are dealt to you. So Mysterio seems like one of those, if you can beat him nice and early, it's fine. Otherwise, you're going to end up having turns where you just keep drawing encounter cards from your actual deck. That's not going to be fun, is it? I don't think so. And then the Sinister Six, who actually come in as the Sinister Six. And they are 6 heroes, not 1. And in order to defeat them, you actually have to use light at the end and remove all of the threat, and then resolve the ambush ability on the main scheme, and then you flip this card, and then you can actually escape. Which is frankly not the easiest thing to do, I think is fair to say. But that looks like so much fun. Plus, you know, it's the old school Sinister Six, right? Who doesn't, frankly? Who doesn't want to have a play around with that? I personally do. There is a 5th scenario, as you would probably expect. As it stands at the moment, we don't know what it is. So, yeah. I'm assuming at some point we'll find out when it launches, but the final scenario is being kept a secret for now. So there we go. This was not easy like previous release schedules have been, because as it stands, we're not all caught up on Wave 4 or Cycle 4, which is a little bit sad. But then it's just Vision and Sinister Motives, and that's all that's actually been revealed. And Sinister Motives, we don't have a release date for at the moment. We've just been told spring 2022. But there's going to be more stuff coming out, and the more stuff coming out after that is SpiderMan. And now you are at least up to date and know where we are. And that's awesome. That's what I think. I want to know what you think. So let me know in the comment section, would you? Go nuts. Be nice. Tell me what you're looking forward to. All that good stuff. And then make sure you like this video, subscribe to this channel, follow me on Twitter at TheWasi. That's where we talk about a whole bunch of card games, including Marvel Champions. And please do consider checking out patreon.com/PTCGradio, where you can support the channel, get some bonus podcasts, and all kinds of fun things. But by far, the most important thing as always, look after yourselves till next time, would ya? Thank you very much for watching. My name's Ross, and you've been watching Wasi Plays.